name's Samit. I'm from Toronto, Canada. Came here to FL2K in Florida to experience, you know, the big boys and run with the two JZs here in the US. Great experience so far. Learned a lot. The traction here is a lot more aggressive. So back home in Toronto, the traction of the track is not as good. So we struggled to get good passes. But here, the traction was incredible. So it's a great experience. Met a lot of nice people. Everybody on Instagram, where you leave the likes, you know, you end up meeting them in person. So yeah, it was a great experience. 1996 Toyota Supra, as you can see, it's right-hand drive. I imported it from Japan 5 years ago. Very clean car, one owner. Got it from a dealer. So the engine mods, it's a cast iron block. It's got a stock crank, real street billet main caps. It's got R&R aluminum rods, CP pistons, 10-to-1 compression. The head, it's got a Head Games race port. It's got shimless buckets. It's got Ferrea valves, 1mm oversize. It's got GSC S2 cams, billet cams, BC cam gears, as you can see. Hypertune intake manifold. It's the race port version with the dual rail. So it's got 1000cc injectors as primary and 2000cc as secondary. It's got a Weldon 6.8 GPM mechanical fuel pump. It's got a Magnus Motorsport dry sump. So it includes a billet pan. It's got a 1.5 gallon oil tank. It's got a 5-stage Peterson oil pump. So on the turbo side, it's a Dock Race twin scroll manifold. It's a T4. It's a twin precision 46mm gates. It's got a precision 8685 Gen 2 with a 128 rear housing. The fabrication part of it, it's a 3-inch hot side piping. It's a EDS 6-inch intercooler, and then it's got a 4-inch cold side piping going to the Hypertune 102mm throttle body. The engine management is a ProFi 128. Great system, all the fail safes you can imagine, EGTs, individual EGTs, back pressure, fuel pressure, IAT, you name it, it's got it all. The car was tuned by Chris Delgado for Pro Speed. It runs about 58 to 62 pounds of boost. It makes about 1500 wheel. It's got 150 shot of nitrous too on top of that. We never really dynoed it that high, but it's trapping around 184 miles an hour. So, I mean, that's gonna be around 50 wheel. So the car made about 1200 at 40 pounds of boost on a dyno. We didn't really keep pushing on the dyno because it started slipping and it was maxed out. So on a track, we run about 58 to 62 pounds of boost. That's pretty much the turbo all in. Here, the 758 pass was about 58 pounds. It had a little bit more in it, but we use nitrous to bring the car in the converter on the trans brake, and it shuts off at 150 miles an hour. So that's right about the 1.8. The transmission side, there's a Pro Torque converter, bolt together billet converter. The transmission is a Rossler HXD TH400. It's got a 210 gear set and a 140 second gear. Billet drums. It's got a G-Force carbon fiber drive shaft. And in the diff, it has a drive shaft chop 9-inch with a straight spool in it, with the Pro Level axles, billet hubs, and the wheels are Weld S77 beadlocks in the rear, and the front's Lumi Stars 2.0. Suspension wise, it's got Penske 7500 DA all around. Really nice suspension. It's got induction performance, anti-roll bar. All the rubber bushings were replaced with spherical bearings, so it's all solid. The front anti-roll bar was removed. Yeah, that's about it in suspension. And brakes, it's got strange brakes all around. The best 60 foot is here in Florida. It was a 121. By far way better than back home in Toronto. The best back home was about 123, so we got a better 60 foot. But my personal best here was a 758 at 184 compared to a 768 at 181 back home. But yeah, we were able to apply a lot more power in the 1.8 here due to the traction, right? So we can put more timing in it. That's kind of what made the pass quicker here. So got the car 5 years ago. Was bone stock, pretty much just had an exhaust. The motor was stock, was a 6-speed transmission, and you know, with these Supras you can't really leave it stock, so it didn't last long when it had a 64, 66 on it. We made 700 wheel with that, about 2 years. And then started drag racing.
Oh my God.
Laying it down in the right-hand lane, the Supra records 11:17 at 135.
That man is a savage.
And you know, got 900 horsepower, built the motor.
Jesus, Murphy. That's 40 pounds of boost?
Yeah.
Here we go again, guys. I wish you were here. You could feel it.
And started drag racing the 6-speed and it didn't work very well. Burning clutches. The V160 wasn't holding together. It was starting to grind and stuff, and I'm like, that's when I switched over to a TH400 and never looked back. Once you put a TH400 in a car, it's like so set for drag racing. So then we ended up changing the turbo, built the head, and that's when we went from 940 on the 6-speed to 7-second passes. But still a street car, still insured, still licensed. I drive it on the street once in a while, but you know, with the cage that it has a 25.5 cage in it. It's not really street legal, so to speak, but it's still a street car, you know. So I'd like to thank Victor Alvarez for inviting me here. I mean, it was a great event. It's the first event in the United States that I came, so it was a great start. I mean, I was a little nervous at first, but yeah, what a great event. The prep was amazing. Very nice people to hang around with. I want to thank Chris Delgado from ProSpeed for coming here and helping me tune the car to get it down the track. Tuning a radial for me is something new since I always raced a slick back there. I want to thank my friends for coming here, my wife. You know, I had a great team that all came with me. So yeah, great event.